What is your inspiration? What inspires you to create?
I think I look at the trend. I also look at how I feel sometimes. As Michelle Obama said, the whole US thing, George Floyd, and you and I know that George Floyd really affected me. Seeing those kind of Black people dying on the street really affected me deeply. The way he was killed really hurt me very, very much so. And so those kind of like stories inspire me, what I see on a daily basis, what I've been through as a child, and also my life experience, kind of like guide me. Sometimes I also have conversation with you in the creative team and other volunteers. Sometimes what they say also does inspire me. So yeah, and I listen to John Lewis, what he was saying, the congressman that died recently. What he said, when you see something, you have to do something about it. You have to start, doing good trouble. When you see something that is wrong, that is not fair, that is not just, it's your duty to go and do something about it, not just sit down and be somebody who just consume information, somebody who, just a bypasser. We can't do that anymore. So those kind of things definitely do inspire me.
And creating, I think there's so much joy in creating something for the betterment of the world.
Yeah.
Right. And our podcast is for that. It's not just for the entertainment. We're creating these content to help other people, to serve other people. And for ourselves too. I think that's one of many things that I love, about creating these content with you.
I think we had a conversation earlier. You mentioned about service. And I really believe that the podcast we're trying to serve. It's our duty to serve. And I think you are serving, I am serving, we're all serving in the team. And with putting this content together, people don't know how hard it is. It's really difficult because, as you said earlier, we need to find inspiration, write it down. We're editing all the time. We're learning new tools. It's not straightforward what we're doing, but I'm always satisfied when a podcast is out because, I can see the number of hours that was put into it, the editing, the back and forth, you and I, up to midnight, and also the time difference between two countries. So, I think it's important we talk about this because actually it takes time. It takes time to create this. And so, one of the guests that we are going to have for season 2 mentioned the power of storytelling, but also respecting creation, content. Many people are creating content across the world, but because we are so used to consuming, we don't respect the people that produce the content. I think we should start having respect for the creative industry, the camera people, the writers, people like you, and so many people across the world who are actually on a daily basis, they speaking, creating, and educating us really. And then I think content, a good content does accelerate humanity, as I always said. What is really important is we really start thinking about creation. From holding the camera, capturing people's story, to sitting down in our little rooms, editing it, but also putting it out there, the graphic, the designers, everything is really important. So I think we should really start thinking about, respecting producers, people who create content, the amazing content we have around the world, filmmakers, storytellers, that industry, and it's being affected right now by coronavirus. I always had respect for the art industry and for the creative industry, but now I even have more respect for them because I know how long does it take to come up with something beautiful, and the content we're putting out there is absolutely amazing for people who want to learn and grow themselves.
That's such a great point. We live in a world where people are in constant pursuit of instant gratification, right? And they just want something that makes them feel good immediately. But in order to create something truly meaningful in life, it could be art, it could be business, it could be content, it could be relationship, it could be friendship. It takes time, right? Like we have to be patient, we have to be resilient. And growth comes with pain, right? It rains, it storms, but we cannot and we should not stop creating. We should not stop growing in that way.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So. I do talk about consistency a lot. Do you have any tips you can share with the listeners or the viewers who are viewing our IGTV?
Creating a podcast for me, it was new. Mm-hmm. I've never done it before I met you. Mm-hmm. And at first I thought it's going to come easier for me because I've been editing all my life. You know, I've been a photographer, I've been a videographer. Recording and editing basically is my job, is the core of my job. So I thought it's going to come easy. Oh boy, it wasn't easy. It was so different. And you know, with COVID-19, right? Like we had to do it over the internet. So all the skills and knowledge that I knew about recording, I couldn't use them. And also with podcasts, it's just audio, no visual. So I'm just like following the audio.
Very sensitive, no? It's very sensitive.
It is so sensitive. And there's like so much you can control over the internet. So that was a frustration for me. But over the course of this journey, I think what I learned the most is that it's always a good time to learn something new. You know, I'm 30 and I thought I had this experience with videography. And I'm like, sometimes I tell people like, if it's wedding photography, I can do it in my sleep. That's how experienced I am in a way. Like I've been doing it for so long that I can do it in my sleep. I know exactly what to do. But with podcasts, oh my goodness, it was so new. So it's always a good time to learn something new, especially if it's for the betterment of the world, for yourself and for other people. No more excuse. If you have something you want to try, if there's something you want to create, start today. Do it now.
Is it because you are also passionate in seeing an end product? Because I know you get so satisfied when you have the product when it's finished. Does it make you happy?
It does make me happy. Seeing the final production, it always brings me joy. But also, I actually love the process. I love that journey of going back and forth, trying to create something beautiful. You know, like we text each other back and forth, you know, send the edits and everything. I love that journey. So for young viewers and listeners who's interested in creative industry, I say that final production is of course important, but the journey of the creation matters greatly too. You know, like Nomzamo said in her episode, we have to trust the process. And it goes, you know, the same thing goes to life. You know, it's not just the end product that's important, but it's the journey that leads up to that end product. Enjoy the process, learn from the process, learn from editing. Exactly, because it's always going to be hard. I've been doing this for a long time, but every time I film a video for my client, I make at least 5 edits. Edits is like list of 30 things that I need to change. That's one edit. And then I fix everything. I send it to my client and they give me 30 more things to change. It doesn't mean what I created was bad. Yeah. They give me ideas so that I can make it even better. You know, it's like collaboration.
Does it get easier if the content is sent to you without many mistakes? And I remember the beginning, we had so many editing to do and it got better. Do you have anything you want to say about that? Because then I think we learned that we had to have a good internet. We had to get the script right. Did that make anything easy with the process? Do they have to do that?
If you are the person in front of the camera, right? Like I'm the person behind the camera editing. If the person in front of the camera also respects the art the same way I do, it does make the job so much easier. If there's like a collaboration happening, it's not just me coming into the room recording the person.
That's why I always like giving, a good content, making sure when the editing is happening, you don't spend hours on it.
You do it so well, and you make it fun too. You know, like when you name the file names. You know, you always put fun names in a file name, and I know you do. You know, different takes. Like you send me 3 or 4, but I know that you've done 20 more.
Yeah. Do you remember we used to do like maybe 7 or 8?
Exactly.
Yes.
Right.
Oh, that's fantastic.
You know, but but that's your dedication to art. That's why I love working with you, because I know that you're dedicated to our art. You know, like if you were dedicated to our art, like you probably do just one that's okay, and you will send it to me, that one that's okay.
So what is the lesson we can tell young people about, consistency, but also is there anything else, drive, anything else we need to tell them to, when they're looking to create something? Start
small. Every videographer, every creative person starts small. No one goes from 0 to 100 overnight. If you start creating today, what you're doing right now will matter in the future.
What matters is you start, right? I mean, we learned so much from you today.
Thank you. I always learn from you. So
it's really fantastic. It's really fantastic.
So speaking of creating, I heard that you're working on season 2 of our podcast series. What can we look forward to with this season 2?
I am so excited, Miwaza, about season 2. Really excited. I can't believe we finished season 1. I mean, we were just saying earlier the difficulty we had, the challenges, and now we're just going to season 2. Wow. Well, season 2, we're going to have amazing people. We have invited a lot of guests who are leaders, thought leaders, actors, just so many people who want to come and share their life stories. Also, the team is reinventing yourself. And I think post-COVID-19, we are all going to need to reinvent ourselves. And as you just said earlier, Miwaza, where, we learn to reinvent ourselves in creating this podcast. And we're going to continue reinventing ourselves, as we move along. So I wanted to just to bring this team, just to make sure we talk about how we're going to go about it. So I invited so many people. So it's going to be like full series, wonderful guests, people or you don't know. But I'm really hoping that you can learn and take some notes and learn from those people. So season 2 is coming up. Make sure you tune in.
It's going to be awesome. I know it. I have no doubt about it.
COVID-19 has really broken us down, our society. Many people have lost their job. We have lost so many people in the process, may they rest in peace. Society is changing. It's changing. Content is changing. The way people are consuming information is changing. The creative industry is going down. Young people are not going to school. So many challenges we have. So, leaders, young people, all of us really will need to reinvent ourselves to find something different, learn new skills, collaborate more, listen to each other, appreciate one another, be grateful for what we have, because we're in a position where we can create. So it's all about gratitude, but at the same time, reinventing ourselves to know that, we can do something else. So don't despair. You can definitely go and learn a new skill, as we just did. Creating, things like that. So I hope that the podcast will help.
Thank you for sharing, and thank you for being a beacon of hope for us. And thank you for walking this journey with me, creating this podcast. It's been amazing. It's been hard, but it's been fantastic, and it's been so rewarding. So thank you. Thank you for taking your time and, for everything you do.
Thank you. Thank you for everything you do. I always appreciate having our IGTV, and I think there are deep conversations that people should appreciate. So thank you again for your service. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I'll talk to you soon.
Me too. Bye-bye, Miwaza.